Welcome, everyone. I'm so glad you've joined me for our first week of Compassion Camp. I was just thinking about what it means to what it means to have compassion. When do you have compassion for someone? I might be a little sleepy. Hard to get to sleep when it's this hot outside. Were you yawning too? Did you ever notice that when you watch someone yawn, you tend to yawn yourself? Or what if I was laughing about a really good joke? Did you hear the one about? And when you see me laughing, you start to smile. You might even start to laugh. Or how about if a friend is hurt and is crying? Did you ever feel a tear come to your own eye? That is what is called empathy. And it's not only for humans. Scientists have discovered that dogs and chimpanzees do the same kind of mimicking behavior. We see someone's feeling and we reflect that back to them. That's known as empathy. When you skin your knee on the playground or in your driveway and you're sad, doesn't a parent or a friend come over to you and give you some sympathy, say they're sorry you're hurt? Maybe a parent even kisses it to make it feel better. That's called compassion. Compassion is when I see your hurt, when I feel that same hurt that you're feeling, which is empathy. And then when I want to ease your hurt, I might give you my hand to help you up off the ground. I might try to kiss it and make it feel better. That's the beginning of compassion, when we really see someone else, see their own feelings and identify with them. That's why it's so important that we gather together, whether that's in Compassion Camp, around tables, at your dinner table when you share your day, or it might be the lunch table at your school. Or it could even be this digital table as we're doing Zoom together and talking and sharing with one another, even if it's online. When we welcome different people, when we open our hearts to that compassion, that empathy, then we are becoming a community of compassion. We might even have a communion table. That's what brings us together at the church. We gather around communion and we share a meal like Jesus did with those first disciples. So let's come to the table. That's the theme of this week. Come to the table, and we begin with a gathering song, because God invites everyone to this table of blessing. Everyone is included, old, young, whatever color you are, whatever you believe. And when we sing this song together, think of the people you would like to include around your table at home, friends and family. Think about the people we include at God's table, not only all the people from Covenant Church, our teachers and friends, but people even around the world that celebrate this meal that Jesus shared with his disciples. This song is in your packet, so I hope you'll learn it this week. Come to the table, come to the table, come to the table and celebrate with us. Now it has different verses. We are all welcome. We are all welcome. We are all welcome. We are all welcome. Come celebrate with us. Another verse is, we are a family, the family of God, brothers and sisters together. So see if you can sing with me. We are a family, we are a family, we are a family, come celebrate with us. I want to share with you a story that Jesus told his disciples. It was called a parable with an important lesson. But first, let us join in this prayer together. Repeat after me in this compassion prayer. Welcoming One, your warm, wide arms are always open, drawing us into your heart full of love. Make our arms your own, helping us to see and to welcome with compassion all those we meet. Amen. That prayer is in your packet too, so perhaps you could share that with your family around your own dinner table. Jesus told his disciples this story. There once was a man who had 2 sons, and the younger son greedily demanded all of his share of the family's wealth. And then he turned his back on his family, and he left them for a country far away, where he wasted all of his money on entertainments and fun. And as soon as he was broke, he lost all of that money, he became needy and hungry. He didn't have enough to eat, and he took a job feeding pigs and wished that he had the very slop and food that the pigs were eating. So even though he felt ashamed, he decided to return home. He wondered, maybe my father will welcome me back as a servant in his household. Perhaps he will remember his love for me. And so he turned toward home. Little did he know his father was waiting for him and watching for him day after day. And when he saw from a far distance someone walking down the road, he hoped and thought it might be his lost son. And before his son could ever come home, he ran out to welcome him with those open arms, saying, "My son, you were lost and now you're found. I'm so happy you're alive." And then when they got back, he called all of his neighbors and his friends, and he said, "Come, let's have a feast, let's have a party, let's have a dinner to celebrate that this son has returned home." But meanwhile, his older son was out in the field. He'd been working hard all day, slaving away. He was hot and he was sweaty. But as he started to come toward home, he heard the sound of music. He heard the sound of a party, and he wondered why. When he knew it was for this lost brother who had squandered all his resources, who returned home and was welcomed so warmly, he was angry and jealous, and he refused to come in to the party. His father went out, like he did to the younger son. He went out to meet his older son and asked him to please come in and join the dinner. The older son complained. He said, "I've listened to you for all these years. I've worked so hard, and all this time you've never thrown me a party for my friends. And here my brother, who wasted everything, comes back, and you throw him a huge party." His father said to him, "Son, I love you. Everything I have has always been yours. But people matter more than money or possessions. We thought your brother was lost from our family, but now he's home, and we had to celebrate together. Come to the table, come into the party." You know, when we listen to these stories, we can learn so much from the feelings of the people. This is one way we see other people and learn about compassion. When we see and we recognize what other people are feeling, because we've felt all those feelings ourselves, we can become a part of that story. For example, we might think of how the younger brother felt or how the Father yearned for his return. Or we might recognize that anger and jealousy that was in the older brother. Whatever those feelings, the story reminds us that the Father cared for both of his sons, welcomed both of his sons home with open arms. So when we begin to show that kind of empathy, when we see other people's needs and recognize them in ourselves, this is the beginning of compassion. And when we gather around this table, whether it's virtual or whether it's face-to-face, we can see and hear each other's voices, and we begin to understand what we all are feeling. This is why it's important to come to the table, to welcome those, to be with us. God invites everyone to the table of blessing, and everyone is included. When we sing this song together, think of the people that are at your table, and let's give thanks together. Come to the table, come to the table, come to the table and celebrate with us. We are all welcome, we are all welcome, we are all welcome, come celebrate with us. You have lots of activities in your packet. There's a daily prayer that you can put on your table and say each evening as you're at the table together. There's a mural with symbols of all of these stories. This one of the father going out to meet the son, saying, "Come to the table." I hope you enjoy these activities and sharing with your family the good news and the words of Jesus in these stories for us. Thank you.